Good to see everybody out here. Hey, I just wanted to take a minute. My name's Patrick McKenna. I'm the director of MoDOT. I wanted to take a minute to thank Congressman Graves for his work. Boy, I tell you, I spent some time on Capitol Hill. I'm glad to be in Missouri, not in Washington. I know the congressman's glad to be in Missouri, not in Washington as well. But the work that he does in Washington really brings back progress here in Missouri, and no better example than right here. This farm bridge program that was put in place 100% because of the grant money that the congressman was able to bring forward. Over $20 million matched up with state money of about $6 million, and 31 bridges are going to be replaced in northern Missouri, across the entirety of northern Missouri. And as you can see, you know, when you're down to a single lane on a bridge, when you've got 2 lanes of traffic, it's a real impediment to the local community, and it's a safety issue. And so improving the safety, improving the conditions for the local communities is really what this is all about. And it wouldn't have been possible without Congressman Graves, and it wouldn't be possible. The work that MoDOT does would not be possible without our commission, the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission. We have several members here. We've got Tom Waters, Terry Ecker, we've got John Briscoe, and Greg Smith are 4 of our 6 members of the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission. You're hiding. That's right. That's right. He's checking out the bridge. You know, the engineer over here. He's making sure we're doing all right. But the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission enables everything that the Department of Transportation does, and it's their leadership and working with Congressman Graves to enable this type of work. So I just, on behalf of MoDOT, on behalf of everybody that's out here, our team that's working here at the local level, I just want to thank Congressman Graves for the work that you're doing, and it's really bringing benefit home. We were just talking and saying that, you know, before his work on the FAST Act, which was the previous surface transportation, Missouri was getting a little bit worse in bridge condition every single year. And in the last 4 or 5 years, we've gotten a little bit better every year. And it's solely because of that work in Washington and bringing the resources back to Missouri. And with the work that we're doing now, we're going to make even more progress. And it matters to every community. So, Congressman Graves, thank you so much.
Thanks, Patrick mentioned the grant. The grant comes from a program we created in 2018. It's called the Competitive Bridge Program, and that's what funded the Farm Bridge Program here in the state. It's a great state-federal partnership program. It really is, and it's a competitive, or as far as states that qualify, it's based on population density. Actually, 25 states that qualified for the Competitive Bridge Program, and Missouri being one of those. But it's actually based on population density. So it's real good. We set that up in 2018. The President signed it into law, and that's the money that we're seeing now replacing these bridges through the Farm Bridge Program. But it's a great partnership. It really is. And I appreciate all that the Commission does and MoDOT does. And you know, in North Missouri, I always say we have great soils for raising crops. We got lousy soils for road bed. They just move too much. And so it's... getting these bridges in place is a great start to fixing some of our rural roads.
That's right. Well, thank you, Congressman. And we've got the contracting and consulting team. We've got Lehman Brothers, Kenny Lehman, and we've got Wilson and Company here. Great Missouri contractors here doing the work for us. We appreciate the work that they do. In part, it's a state and federal and private public partnership that really gets all the work done. We've got Jeff Gander here is our project manager on the project. Paula Goff is the Northeast district engineer. We've got Ed Hassinger is our chief engineer. Kevin James is a deputy here. So we've got a really great team here in Northeast Missouri, and we're looking forward to getting these bridges fixed and replaced, and then moving on to the next. So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
So we're going to head to the next bridge.
Before we go, will you guys take a picture Can we just get everybody on the bridge?
Echo, this is your media packet, sweetie.
Congressman Graves, if you could stand in the middle and the front, that would be perfect. Okay, tall in back, short in front. You know who you are. Shoulder to shoulder so we can see your face. It's okay to hit all the way across, you know. Hey. Yeah, if you could just get your face in a... Hey, guys in the back. Come on.
This is a weight limited bridge.
Okay, so if you're in the back, you just want to get your face where we could see it. Great big smile. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
I'll see you
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
heading up.
And how long do you think this will take?
Yeah, we can work.
Okay. Hello, Congressman Graves. Can you just talk about how awesome it is to be here doing this, like, you know, this program coming to fruition?
So this is part of 31 bridges that we were able to get through. It's actually a federal and state partnership. So the state came up with what they call the Farm Bridge Program. And then what we did was funded it through a program that we created in 2018. And that's a competitive bridge program. And that's what's funding this. We got $20.8 million from the federal government to replace these bridges, 31 of them throughout northern Missouri. And so this is great for our communities.
Can you just talk a little bit about the work that you and your staff put into helping make this happen?
So what we did when we created this is we created this program, and 25 states have qualified for the program. And it's based on population density, and obviously in northern Missouri, we don't have a whole lot of people that live up here, and it makes it hard to be able to to convince folks that we need good roads, we need good bridges as well. And so that's one of the reasons we came up with the program. And then MoDOT comes up with the Farm Bridge program to administer. And that's actually kind of a design, a build design program. And so it makes it a little bit cheaper to be able to put bridges like this together and makes our money go a little bit farther with inflation. That's a good thing now that it's costing more to do this.
Do you have anything, coming down the pike, programs like this that you want to talk about that are important for rural Missourians?
We obviously have the infrastructure program that was passed by Congress, and now it's the law of the land. So what we're going to be doing is oversight. We want to make sure that those dollars are spent wisely around the country. The unfortunate part of that is only about half of it is traditional infrastructure, roads and bridges, and which is unfortunate. But regardless, now we have to make sure that the money is spent correctly, and we don't see a lot of waste and abuse and fraud in those programs.
Okay, last one. Is there anything in particular that you think it's important for your constituents in North Missouri to know?
Well, the biggest thing is infrastructure itself. That's something that the government is supposed to do and is supposed to do well. And traditional infrastructure is what it's about. This program, for instance, which we created in 2018, we're just now seeing the money come around. So it takes a little while for that money to get out there, even though these programs are passed. And sometimes we can get a little impatient, but eventually it makes it.
Is there anything you want to add?
Well, this is a good program. This is good. This is a good start. We still got to fix a lot of our lettered routes, which are state roads themselves, but they don't have any federal component. But that's just as important to our smaller communities as anything else. And some of them are in pretty bad shape.
And you're kind of getting a front seat view of that today,
That's
kind
right.
of driving around between these bridges. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
On this one, I think they're about 80 feet. We're using H-pile as friction pile. Normally when we use H-pile, we drive it set up in friction. Normally we would drive our round 14-inch pipe piles because they work better in friction. but those things are so high right now. If you can get them, you can't afford them. So the Yep. Yeah, you can see the dark area right there. That's where they poured that intermediate diaphragm. So that'll be one. And you can barely see the other one over there. Lots of rebar. And this looks different than what our previous looks like. It's got 2 layers of rebar. If we, a lot of times when we build them, we just put a gas panel across the girders and we put 1 layer, which is, I'm not saying it's a bad construction method, but it's not as good as having a full length.
When I do it.
Our concrete supplier has a really big job going on somewhere else. They have a concrete plant also in Marceline, and they have something they had. Actually, so we got us some concrete for the intermediate diaphragm, 20 bits, but we can't get concrete for the deck till night. Clean, and right now they have a huge job going on. I think it's a FedEx building. I'm not 100% sure of that, but in Marceline, so all of their trucks are there. Concrete plant's still here.
Will they bring it from both sides?
Yeah, they'll have to send some. We'll have if you can, just a lot of times we can't do that because our girders aren't all locked in and we don't want to backfill that abutment until we get the bridge deck poured. But the way this design works out, where we're locking everything up early, we can go ahead and basically sit there and twiddle your thumbs for 10 days while you're waiting on this approach slab. So we can't pour the barrier wall for 10 days. If we get this poured, we can do the widening while we're waiting on that here. Otherwise, you have a whole nother pour. You pour the deck, wait 10 days, then you pour this before you can pour your barrier wall. Then you got to let this get straight on.
45 days, 60 days.